Hi, I'm Paul Brodie. You know that. Mitch behind the cameras. We've got an interesting project today. I got a frame from Rob Sanderson, and it's got issues. I have found 4 issues. The first is the BB. It's stuck. He thinks I'm going to have to use some heat, but first we'll see what happens with no heat. Over the last few days, I've put a little bit of WD down there on the threads, so maybe that'll help. There's another issue here. It's a Krista Kerr fix. This little plate, that's what it looks like. See that? And it has become ripped off. So that's an issue. And then up here, we have a crack. Can you see that? There's a crack there. So I'm not sure how he's going to fix that, but I don't do titanium welding, so it goes off. But I can take out the bottom bracket. The bottom bracket does not have to be saved. And there's something else going on. So it's got a rattle in the top tube. I'm hoping you can hear that. It also happened on our frame. So what you have to do, what we did, you have to drill a hole. So on the top tube, for example, we would drill a hole in through the head tube at an angle, get the rattle out, and then weld up the hole. It's a pain in the butt. Probably takes half an hour or something like that. So I don't know if that'll get fixed, because once the frame is assembled and you're riding it, you never hear that. You can only hear it when it's like this. And so if you sell a raw frame to a customer and he does this, he's going, what the heck? Okay, so those are the issues. And I think Mitch has some shots of the welding. I always liked Merlin frames. When I used to go to the trade show, I would hang out with the owner Gwen. And that was great. We had a lot of good times. So I got memories of Merlin being there. And they would show up and they'd have frames with bends, and it was always cool. All right, so I need to hold this frame somehow to work on it. Can't use the park stand because the park stand doesn't open up enough. These are my frame blocks that I have in stock. I thought I'd show you. They're made out of hardwood. They have a leather hinge. And I made this one yesterday because I didn't have 1.5 inches to hold the down tube. So it's made out of hardwood, and Mitch has some photos you can see in the mill. I got the drill going down, and then in the second shot, you can see the cardboard. I put 3 pieces of cardboard in between because I want to space it a little bit. And then on the second shot, I use the boring bar, and I make it exactly the size of the tube, which is 1.5 inches. And then I label it. So you can see all I got here. Look, I have a metric frame block. A few years ago, I was working on a vintage French bike. That's why you need metric frame blocks, because the tubing is metric. And all the regular sizes never fit. So what have I got? I got 8 frame blocks built up over the years. That's very handy when you're a frame builder. All right, we're gonna put this in. There's, special tools you use for this, but this has all been damaged, so kind of crude, but we'll see how it works. I have no idea if this is an easy job or a tough job. No idea. But thanks for tuning in for something a little different. The first thing I'm going to do is to work on the fixed cup side. And that is a left-hand thread. I do have a tool for that. Let me just grab it. Okay. See if it fits. Yeah, it fits. Okay, this is the tool. It's a Shimano tool, and this is back from 80s. We're talking basically close to 50 years ago now. All of the bottom brackets have changed now. It's a internal spline. So this is the old style, and we'll just see what happens. So I need to go this way because the fixed cup historically is a right-hand thread, left-hand thread. See, the problem with this, it doesn't want to stay down. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, see, it wants to, you know, I know someone else has been in there, and these are all damaged. So that's part of the reason why there wasn't success. So we'll see what happens. There we go. Let me get a glove. And as I mentioned before, the bottom bracket does not have to be saved. So if I hammer or use heat or whatever. So I'm going to do the same thing here. There's a tool that goes inside, and I don't have that tool. Interestingly, this, I was cycling on the Sunshine Coast, had the bags on the bike and all that, and I found this off the side of the road. So I'm traveling light, but it's metal, and I couldn't resist. I don't know what this weighs, 5 pounds? I strapped it on my bike and rode back to the ferry. I find a lot of stuff that's metal on the road. I do have an affinity for metal. Okay, so. Oh, look at that. Okay. Well, that doesn't want to come. Okay, a little bit of WD, because the lock ring didn't let it go down, I think. And I got another pair of pliers. Yeah, these are German. These are nice. Well, so far this is easier than I thought. I could always light the torch anyway. Okay. It's got a seal bearing in there. Can you see that? It's not a cone and loose balls. It's a seal bearing. And there's the BB. And we're going to flip this round and see if the other side just comes out like that. If you've got a good vise that's mounted well to your workbench and you use a frame block, look how solid that is. That's really solid. And that's what you want when you're trying to take something out. You don't want it moving around. Okay, the other one was left-hand thread. This is right-hand thread. Oh. It just screws out my hand. Okay, so I didn't know. I thought I might have to get my sledgehammer in the heat and all sorts of stuff, but that's nice. Mitch, we can go home early now. Okay, that's a success story. Thanks very much for watching. We appreciate your support very much. Mitch and I like copies. Merchandise is still 18% on sale. We just didn't flip the switch on that one. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends. We really want to get up to 100,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please just click. It's real easy. Doesn't cost you any money, really helps us. See you next time.